We've all heard about the SEC postponing the prosecution against Ripple. Thus, this is maybe the most significant video concerning XRP Ripple ever. Although it created a stir, material that was leaked online confirmed that the matter is now permanently closed. Are you aware of what this means? The cost of XRP. According to experts, the price of Ripple might rise by many times at any time and surpass $1,000. Don't miss a second of this video. It's very awesome. Let's get started without further delay. Notice, the XRP community and a large portion of the cryptocurrency world are on edge as the Ripple vs. SEC litigation keeps taking unexpected turns. Legal ambiguities and urgent filings have brought what many believe to be a closed chapter back into the public eye, raising questions about whether the lawsuit is indeed over. It all began when the SEC unexpectedly wrote Judge Analisa Torres in response to an urgent request from Justin Keener, whose name most people believed was no longer pertinent to the Ripple case. In his own SEC case, Keener, a former defendant, asserted that he had important evidence that had to be shown in the Ripple case. In rejecting Keener's plea, the SEC claimed that since the case was still for appeal, the district court had lost jurisdiction. Here's the catch, though. Ripple had previously declared that its own cross-appeal and the SEC's appeal had been settled. Why is the SEC claiming that the matter is still being reviewed by the Second Circuit Court of Appeals if both appeals have been resolved? Crypto lawyer Bill Morgan described this inconsistency as strange, and he had good reason to do so. Ripple, who views the legal dispute as resolved, and the SEC, who keeps acting as if events are still ongoing, are presenting two entirely different stories. Not only is this type of discrepancy confusing, but it may also indicate more significant, behind-the-scenes actions. When a user called Danny tweeted, "The SEC has spoken in a letter to Judge Torres," the XRP community was filled with a sense of urgency. Request for urgent presentation of conclusive evidence. The request is very urgent because something significant is happening, and this urgency is inconsistent with a case that is ostensibly closed. Additionally, the narrative surrounding XRP, Ripple coin, is changing. SC has classified XRP as a commodity. XRP Dragon wrote in a widely shared tweet, "Gold is a commodity as well. The digital gold is XRP." Although it's a bold assertion, it has some validity. This is a significant change for Ripple, as well as for the way digital assets could be categorized generally if XRP is truly regarded as a commodity, something with inherent worth that isn't subject to securities laws. Gold has traditionally been associated with global value and financial stability. XRP's potential contribution to the financial sector might increase dramatically if it can take up comparable digital space. Although the SEC's actions in this matter have been perplexing from the start, the most recent development intensifies the situation. Why take what some have referred to as legal spam so seriously? If the appeals have already been completed, why emphasize that the court lacks authority? Whether this is a calculated delay, an internal misunderstanding, or an indication of something more serious, it is obvious that the whole story isn't yet public knowledge. What began as a dispute over whether XRP qualifies as a security has expanded into a larger dispute over regulatory authority and jurisdiction classification. There is no denying that Ripple's interaction with the SEC involves more than just XRP. It concerns the U.S. cryptocurrency industry's future. For the time being, we wait and watch as the curtain lowers on what might be the last act or simply another twist in the drama. Every file and quote discrepancy adds another dimension to a legal saga that may define how innovation and regulation coexist. It's crazy, but believe me, this is only the beginning. What follows could completely contradict everything you believed to be true about XRP. Crypto specialists aren't backing down despite the financial market's difficulties and the general lack of certainty. In fact, their predictions regarding XRP's future are more explosive than ever. You should pay close attention to what they have to say, because it could completely alter your viewpoint. Let's begin with the most audacious of assertions. A prominent figure in the XRP community, Jack the Rippler, boldly tweeted, $10 per XRP this year. Once dismissed as impossible, that type of projection is now more difficult to disregard, particularly in light of the momentum XRP is beginning to gain following. The lawsuit. Another well-liked community member, Steph, doubled down with a reminder. The next 3 to 6 months will see the creation of XRP millionaires. Simply keep in mind that it's more than simply hype. It's a symbol of support from those who have persevered and remained devoted throughout time. Then there's the AI perspective. Dragon AI believes that XRP will rise above $35 in just 3 months. Even while AI forecasts are not always accurate, they often take into account market cycles, sentiment trends, and large data sets. A spike to $35 would signify a profound change in XRP's value as well as its worldwide story. However, the most intriguing forecast is made by CryptoCharged's COO, Matthew Breen. He recently made the case for XRP to reach between $100 and $1,000. You read correctly, within the next 10 years. Furthermore, this isn't coming from a headline-seeking individual. Breen disclosed that XRP accounts for half of his total cryptocurrency holdings, which he has been steadily building up for more than 5 years. His belief is more than just words. He has a strong commitment. Breen doesn't base her arguments on wishful thinking. He highlights the practical uses of XRP, particularly in cross-border financial transactions and remittance payments. I see the potential for sending money around the globe in 5 seconds for pennies. He claimed that the use case alone may establish XRP as a major participant in a global financial system that is in dire need of quicker and less expensive alternatives. He is also realistic. He intends to sell some of his XRP holdings for a profit along the way, but he is keeping some locked for the next 5 to 10 years, indicating his conviction in XRP's potential to be the next big thing in global finance. He's not alone either. The community's attitude has changed from speculation to strategy, and people are now aligning with XRP's long-term ambition rather than holding it for a moonshot. There is still disagreement around the timeline. While Breen believes that prices might triple or even quadruple, other analysts, like as those at Telon, are more pessimistic and believe that XRP might not even hit $500 in the next 25 years. This significant disparity of perspectives highlights the intricacy of the cryptocurrency sector. The future of XRP will be significantly influenced by macroeconomics, regulation, adoption partnerships, and the problem is that XRP differs from most other currency. It has a functioning product, has already been incorporated into international payment channels, has withstood a vigorous SEC litigation, and, perhaps most importantly, has a community that sincerely believes its time is near. There is no doubting it, regardless of whether you believe in the 10 predictions of $100 or $1,000, or are merely observing from the sidelines. Around XRP, something significant is developing. Additionally, XRP is at the forefront of this transition, as the distinctions between traditional finance and cryptocurrency continue to become increasingly hazy. It's now time to discuss a topic that has the potential to propel XRP forward: its strong alliances. We already know that XRP is ahead of the curve in terms of real-world utility, which is what distinguishes excitement from long-term effect. Believe me, what you're going to hear is really optimistic. It might hold the secret to reaching important price goals. These collaborations are global players with enormous effect, not just names on a list. Prepare yourself because this could blow your head. Thus, Ripple's most recent acquisition of Hidden Road for an incredible $1.25 billion signifies a significant shift for XRP and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. This action goes beyond merely reaching a financial milestone. This strategic move into institutional finance is creating new prospects that have the potential to significantly impact XRP's future and widespread adoption. With good reason, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse called the acquisition a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. With this acquisition, Ripple becomes the first cryptocurrency company to own a global multi-asset prime brokerage platform, placing XRP at the center of some of the biggest and most reputable financial markets in the world. This acquisition is an important step in promoting the worldwide adoption of XRP, since it clearly links Ripple's success to the larger banking sector. In other words, XRP is no longer merely a speculative asset. What does this entail for XRP holders and the token's price? It is currently linked to a state-of-the-art financial system that may result in rapid expansion. The practicality of XRP in actual financial systems is demonstrated by Ripple's ambition to include the ledger and XRP into Hidden Road's clearing services. This agreement could enable Hidden Road to use XRP to process portions of its 10 billion daily transactions in a matter of seconds rather than depending on antiquated and sluggish fiat settlement systems, as David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, pointed out. In a world where efficiency and speed are crucial, this change may make XRP a player in institutional finance. More significantly, the market is being informed by Ripple's acquisition of Hidden Road that XRP is becoming recognized as a valid instrument for significant financial transactions. The incorporation of XRP into Hidden Road services may spur wider institutional adoption, which might have a knock-on impact and affect how big banks, governments, and businesses around the world use XRP. In a time of economic turbulence, where inefficiencies plague the conventional banking system, with its emphasis on offering quick, inexpensive settlement options through XRP, Ripple emerges as a compelling substitute. According to Mark Ashe, CEO of Hidden Road, the collaboration would enable them to grow their product lines and provide institutional-caliber dependability in new areas. With XRP at the heart of these solutions, many in the traditional finance sector have been longing for the capacity to execute quick, low-cost transactions and supply liquidity on demand. Ripple is presenting itself as the link between the traditional and digital realms of finance. Not to be overlooked is the possible effect on the price of XRP. The continued widespread use of blockchain technology, combined with Ripple's emphasis on efficiency and scalability, may cause a significant increase in demand for XRP. The value of XRP could soar as more organizations incorporate it into their operations due to a network effect. According to several cryptocurrency analysts, XRP's price may rise significantly as its liquidity and practical uses increase. This goes beyond wishful thinking. It is a logical outcome of XRP's growing incorporation into high-value markets and applications. Not to be overlooked are the whales. What they're doing is absolutely astounding. Millions of XRP are being covertly accumulated during times of market panic. It may sound crazy, but believe me, this could be the game-changing play you've been waiting for. Pay close attention because this move has the potential to completely change the course of events. Thus, the increasing activity of XRP whales is causing market turbulence, and it is not surprising that their actions could significantly affect the price of XRP. Whales are huge individuals or entities that own a sizable chunk of a specific asset in the cryptocurrency industry. These whales' actions with XRP have the potential to alter the course of both short-term and long-term price behavior. These whales typically behave differently from the typical retail investor during times of market panic. While weaker hands may sell out of fear, stronger hands are known to accumulate more. This conduct is important because it shows confidence in the asset's future worth when these whales amass substantial sums of XRP. These whales are not merely maintaining their positions, rather, they are arranging themselves in anticipation of what they perceive to be a significant upward shift. XRP, a recent tweet from the Chancellor read, "Weak hands panic, strong hands accumulate." This comment sums up these larger investors' thinking precisely. Whales are flocking to buy more assets at reduced prices during a crisis, while others may sell off, laying the groundwork for a possible price rise once market circumstances normalize. True believers are distinguished from those who only respond to market noise by this trend, which has been observed previously. The assumption that a bigger change is happening is further supported by the recent record-breaking growth on the XRP ledger. According to Santiment, over 5 million wallets currently contain XRP, indicating a considerable surge in use. Not all of this growth is attributable to tiny retail investors. The figures also show an increase in whale activity, with massive XRP transfers to centralized exchanges becoming more common. When whales begin to move assets on this scale, it's usually an indication that they're getting ready for something significant. Whales have the ability to significantly raise the price of an item when they move in large groups. They can raise the price over time since they can hold significant amounts of XRP and are prepared to withstand brief volatility. Retail investors may be more likely to purchase when they observe whales' increasing backing, which might have a domino effect that raises demand and, eventually, the price. Interest in XRP appears to be growing on several levels, as evidenced by the rise in both small and large wallet holders. These whales are setting themselves up for a possible breakthrough, while regular investors are trying to protect their position in a cryptocurrency they trust. These are strong factors that have the potential to propel XRP to unprecedented heights. The stage is set for a price spike as XRP's network keeps expanding, and more whales continue to express interest. Timing is crucial in cryptocurrency, and if the whales' predictions come true, they know just when to take action. This might mark the start of something really significant for XRP. Strong whale activity and growing worldwide acceptance might cause XRP to surge. As they say, keep an eye on the whales since their movements typically indicate that the market is likely to follow. The one query that remains is, do you think that XRP is a good investment? Please share your forecasts for the Ripple token in the comments area. I'd be interested in hearing them. With that, this video comes to a conclusion. Thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the like button, leave a comment with your ideas or questions, and, most importantly, remember to subscribe if you found the information informative and enjoyable.